Hello, this is Krystal DemonSlayer144, and this is my first video that I'm posting to YouTube. I wasn't gonna do this, but Spirit said now is the time, so I hope everybody can hear me. I don't have a microphone on or anything. I know absolutely nothing about posting on YouTube, so I'm going to learn as I go. So the main reason I'm here is to help people free themselves from the demons that keep them stuck. For instance, in my opinion, we're all living in a big, matrix. And, some of us are either still asleep in it and think that everything that's happening in the world and in the nation is normal. Some people are asleep enough to, I think, in my opinion, want things to stay this way. Other people are waking up to the reality of our situation. And, one of my favorite words is woke. I consider myself very woke, and if that word bothers anybody, this is not the channel for you. Because I'm going to just channel what comes through me from Spirit. And, my main objective is to wake people up. So there's going to be a lot of woke stuff happening here. A lot of people are feeling overwhelmed. A lot of people are feeling burdened, burnt out, disillusioned. A lot of people have given up hope for what's happening in America, what's happening in the world, and just feel tired, exhausted. And so I'm here to say I understand that, and if people keep looking at the world the way they've always looked at it and expecting things to be the way they've always been, there's going to be a rude awakening. I can assure you things are not going to go back the way they've always been. And when you look at things, there's some people are saying, I like things the way they are. I like all this. And some people are saying, what in the world is going on? It's almost like I went to sleep and woke up in a nightmare that I can't wake up from. And I'm kind of in the second camp right there, although in reality, in my opinion, everything is happening according to plan. I think what people don't see is that this matrix that we live in, that I consider a matrix that we're living in, this matrix has been around for millennia. I mean, thousands and tens of thousands of years ago, if not more. And the energies, I call them demons, some people call them archons, with the main archon / demon being Yaldabaoth, which is in, that's all part of the Gnostic Christianity. That's what I believe in. You know, there's a reason for everything being this way, and the reasoning for everything being the way it is today, this was prophesied in so many religions and dogmas and you know, ways of spiritual thinking. The concept of revelations, the end times, you know, apocalypse, all that. And people have different interpretations for what that means, and what that is. And yeah, I think when I look at things objectively, I can see the workings of the so-called end times. I can see it. However, what's ending is this old, outdated system that was created on false pretenses, on false values. You know, everything that we thought, so for instance, everything I thought America was built upon, I am seeing now that it was all false. It was false. You know, I would love to think that in America there's no need for safeguards against racism and, you know, sexual identity and class consciousness, all that. You know, I would think, and I'm saying, you know, a lot. I'm seeing that now. Anywho, the word out right now is, oh, there's no need. There's no need for any safeguards for any of the previously protected classes. And that's a lie. I mean, I'm of what? 3 protected classes. You know, I'm African American, which is a false construct in itself. I am a woman, and I am 63 years old. So, you know, I guess, was that elderly at some point? So there's still, from what I see, there still needs to be safeguards. You know, there still needs to be safeguards. And it's a lie that, oh, we don't need them, because on the one hand, for instance, I'm going to just give an example. On the one hand, oh, we don't need any DEI or anything like that, anything to protect the rights and the expressions of people of color or women. But then you turn around and you see, oh, but we're not going to teach the true history of people of color in schools. And we're not going to, even though there may be, I'll make it up, even though in the area, geographic area is 10% people of color, but we're not going to have 10% people of color. Even though we can, of qualified people, we're just not going to do that in this workplace. And, oh, you're a Muslim, which is, I grew up as Muslim. I'm no longer a Muslim, but I also grew up as Christian, Baptist, and I'm no longer that. But, you know, if I were Muslim and I wanted to wear a hijab or, you know, do my prayers at work, like some people do Christian prayers in the capital of whatever state, or in the schools, I'm more than likely going to be told that I can't do that. You know, there can be, you know, the American flag up in a classroom, but let's say I want an LGBTQ flag. Oh no, you can't do that. But there'll probably be a Bible in the class. But where's the Quran? Where's the Torah? Where's the witch's creed? You know, if there's going to be a Bible. So there's so much inequality and injustices. I mean, I won't even get into all the injustices going on in the world right now. However, I will say that those injustices are being brought forward. And just because, I mean, the injustices are glaring. And just because somebody who, you know, shrouds themselves with some kind of authority are saying, no, that's not an injustice. Well, you know, don't tell me something I know. Don't tell me that something is not when I know it is. See, that's gaslighting. That's making me think I'm crazy, or that something's wrong with my perception, or something like that. And there is so much of that going on right now. So much. Oh no, that's not what you think it is. That's not wrong, and you know it's wrong. And you know it's what you think it is. And some people, I can't remember where, but it's kind of like there's a saying that if you repeat something over and over and over, it wears a person down and it starts becoming a true belief, or the person will start believing it. I'm not going for that. I'm not doing it. And so many people are just not gonna go for that. So what I want to do with these posts that are going to get better and better, because eventually I'm going to learn how to post, upload videos. I'm going to learn how to edit and all the little, you know, bells and whistles. But right now, what you see is what you get. It's pretty raw. But I want to address these things. I want to address the injustices, but I want to, and I want to tie all of this into the big picture. Like, how does this fit into what's going on in the world on a large scale, but behind the scenes? I think the Epstein files were just scratching the surface. I do believe, and I'm going to let you know this, so because if you don't believe it, then this probably isn't the channel for you. But I do believe that there are secret societies that are doing the bidding of demonic forces, unseen demonic forces that are connected to families, connected to certain people, especially certain people of power and wealth. I am not saying that people of power and wealth are bad, but I'm saying some people of power and wealth have contracted with these demonic forces to keep things at status quo, which it blows my mind, because these demonic forces, they've been around since, well, you know, since the Old Testament, I guess. And, you know, with their created God, Yaldabaoth, which, of course, presents itself as, you know, the vengeful, wrathful God in the Old Testament, probably New Testament too. I'm not real versed on the Bible, but I do know that my belief is that the vengeful, wrathful God presented in the Bible is actually Yaldabaoth. It's a false God. And then it's angels, quote unquote, what some call, you know, angels, are actually demons. I think Yaldabaoth, this Old New Testament God, is actually what people call the devil. And that's what I'm referring to it. So you'll hear me say the devil at times, and I'm usually talking about the God of the Old and New Testament. And you'll hear me talking about demons. I'm talking about the quote unquote angels that surround this demon, the major demon, this false God. people call them archons, and at times I will too, but you know, they're demons. They're demons. And these demons, they know. They have known since, I don't know, maybe our beginning of time, that the day of revelation was coming. They know. And you could see this in so many other cultures and spiritual beliefs of other cultures other than the Bible that have their own version of the last days and of revelation, of the apocalypse, so they know that their time is up. They know that all this evil that's going on in the world, you know, sacrificing and killing and eating children, and you know, mass genocide, and maligning whole races, whole classes, whole sexes of people, just for, you know, their own personal dislike or personal gain or whatever the bad reasoning is for. You know, these days are coming to an end. It's coming to an end. And everybody who's doing it, you know, they're going to go where they're going to go. And everybody else, and I think in some books or lore, you know, it's called the rapture. Well, people who are in alignment with the true God, the truth, which is all based on love, are gonna go somewhere else. They're gonna, and you may find it's not gonna be so much of a physical going away, but it will be a separation of these of people and things that vibrate on a certain level, a certain frequency. There's going to be a separate. Well, it's happening now. Really, it's happening now, which is why the divine has called me, and that's validation from our little friends down there. Oh, looks like somebody had some babies, or are those babies or teenagers? I don't know if you can see them, but yep. Hi. Oh, 3 of them. 3 babies, I think. I don't know if you can see them. Anyway, can you see them? Oh, wait. Anyway. So, that was validation. So that's what I'm all about. That's, well, you know, that's the main reason I'm here. Because I wasn't going to do this. I mean, Spirit has been telling me that I was going to do it. Even told me I had to quit my job so I could do this. And I just started the job a year ago. And Spirit just said, you need to stop. You need to quit because I have something else for you to do. And of course, my family laughed at me and people thought I was losing my mind. And for a minute, I thought I was losing my mind. But, you know, when Spirit wants something, Spirit's going to get it. And so here I am. I quit my job in December. And so here I am. I just got the call last night. Like, okay, you're going to do this. And you're going to post on YouTube. And you are not going to have the excuse of, oh, I don't have my eyebrows done. I don't have any makeup on. I always wear my hair covered, so that's not a big deal. But, you know, oh, what are people gonna say? You know, blah blah blah. I don't know how to do it. I'm too old to learn how to be on YouTube. Well, Spirit said, don't care. Get on there anyway. So here I am. So it's raw. It's just, I'm gonna say what comes to me. And that is that. Let's see, what else? Yeah, it's the truth has to come out. The truth, it's time for us to move into the new dimension. As we're doing, it's happening. Quite a few of us are tasked to help move everyone into this new dimension. And some people are tasked to do other things regarding this shift from this lower 3D dimension to the 5D. And another thing too is like I'll be on social media and I'll see these, I'll see people saying, "Oh my God, look at what's happening in America. I can't believe people are tolerating what's happening, with the Epstein files and what Trump is doing and all of these, sick elites, raping and trafficking children and murdering children and eating them and just the whole 9 yards." And, even that, in addition to, having in my opinion, a very incompetent administration, a very incompetent president, who's also, in my opinion, a pedophile. But where you see, let's forget the promises that this administration made. Yeah, at times I will talk political. I'm gonna say what comes through. At times, so political, and we were, forget about being promised, oh, the economy's gonna get better and immigration's gonna get better, and we're gonna flourish on fossil fuels because climate change is a hoax, blah blah blah. None of that. Not only and we won't be getting any war in the Middle East. Okay, so all of those things were a lie. Okay, so we all know that, right? Not only were all those things a lie, but now that we're doing all the things that this pedophile president and his administration said we weren't going to get it. Okay, so now we're not only in it, but we're suffering from it. Prices have gone up. Food has gone up. The gas has gone up. I don't see much, positive immigration reform. What stands out to me are the people the innocent U.S. citizens that this administration through ISIS murdered, and people being sent off like this is the Gestapo. People are kidnapped or spirited away and put somewhere where nobody knows where they are without any due process or anything. And I think the biggest slap in the face is that, which is a good thing in my opinion, is that I thought growing up and going from elementary school all the way through college, that this system, the United States government, is supposed to be a system of checks and balances. So the executive branch checks and balances, the congressional branch checks and balances, the judicial branch, and I guess that worked for a while, and now it's in total free fall. It's not working at all. And so the experiment of the American government that was, incorporated, I guess, about 250 years ago, well, it failed. It failed. The checks and balances failed. So we are now turning into a fascist, state with a dictator, wannabe king. Okay. It is what it is. It is, in my opinion, it is what it is. Now, I think I had mentioned before, you know, I look on social media and people are like, well, how come you're not fighting? How come the raping of kids and all this and stuff isn't enough to, you know, make people madder? You should be madder. You should revolt. And, you know, I'm just going to say, yeah, if that makes you feel good, if that is what you feel your mission is, if that's what you feel that you should do, that's you. Do it. Protest, all kind of stuff. You know, you can protest, you can boycott, you can do all kind of stuff. However, I don't believe that everybody who wants to get rid of the problem, who wants to get rid of this corrupt government and install, you know, a clean, righteous government that is based on true values that support every citizen, doesn't discriminate against any citizen. I don't believe necessarily that the route of violent, aggressive, you know, revolution as one might think it is. I don't think that one size fits all. I think that your way of revolution is individual. It's specific to you. It's specific. As for me, my form of revolution, because this whole thing is revolution, the times we're in, because everything as it stands cannot stay this way, and these ancient demons know that. So it's kind of, I mean, dying dogs fight harder. I mean, that's just the way it is. Dying dogs fight harder. So I get that. They know they can't win this, but they're gonna try, because, you know, when everything gets to where it's supposed to be, they will no longer have power over us. It's just, how do you get there, and how do you survive the transition? So I'm gonna talk about that. Right now, I think the best thing people can do, unless they have just a clear idea, like I'm gonna protest, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, or whatever it is that they feel that they want to do, that's fine. But if a person is like, you know what, I'm pretty much still in shock over everything. I mean, and we haven't even seen all the Epstein files. I think they're just scratching the surface. But some people, they don't know what to do. And some people not only don't know what to do, but also are just feeling so burnt out by everything they're getting from the media and the news and people talking and what they're seeing. And, you know, that people are getting disillusioned and burnt out and exhausted. And that is where I'm saying there's no need for that. There's no need for that, because everything that's happening is a force greater than us that's tearing this shit down. It can't survive. It can't. It just can't. It's a matter of time. Based on your perception, yeah, it's gonna look like it's getting worse before it gets better. However, there's no need to have your energy drained or feel like, oh, this is horrible, or, you know, kind of have a doomsday thought process, because that's draining. Not only is that draining, it feels bad, makes people feel hopeless, but also it channels into what these demons who run things and the people who are contracting with these demons, it supports their agenda. for you to feel depleted, for you to feel, oh, there's no light at the end of the rainbow, or even for you to feel ashamed because I'm not doing more to fight this, you know? No. The best thing you could do right now is to take care of you. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your emotional health. Take care of your physical health. And I would suggest right now, you know, turn that TV off. Don't look at the news, because right now the news is all skewed toward what the demons want you to know anyway. You're not getting the real news of what's going on. You're getting what they want you to know. And everything was planned. In my opinion, you know, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, these demons have contacted or made themselves available to certain people, to certain cultures, to certain groups of people, at different times in history. And a lot of folks who they contacted or made themselves available to, oh, if you know, like, sell your soul to me and do our bidding, you will have all this power, riches, and fame and all this. And a lot of people said no. A lot of cultures said no. A lot of groups, a lot of races said no. Well, race is a construct, but groups of people said no. Yet some people said yes. I want, you know, X, Y, Z, and I want my generations to have power and to, you know, be big ballers in this matrix that you're creating. And so they signed on the dotted line. You know, it's like signing in blood. Drank the Kool-Aid, and, you know, here we are. So this isn't by accident. It's all by design. But the salvation is all by design as well. And a lot of us are waking up, and a lot of us are tapping in, and we're putting our awareness outside of the matrix. So we're getting the truth. We're getting the truth. And the thing is, though, you got to believe it, though, because, see, the architects of the matrix designed it in such a way to make it so that what's happening inside of the matrix seems like reality, and that if you peep the truth and really look into it and accept it as it hits you, because the truth will hit you in a certain way to where basically it's undeniable unless you really fight it. And the demons have created a scenario where when you start tapping into the truth, if it's different from what's inside the matrix and what the matrix truth is, then, oh, you're crazy. You know, something's wrong mentally with you. You're talking nonsense, or you're or you're crazy. And the problem is the demons have had such influence over us, you know, through the influence they've had over our parents and through our schools and churches, religions, everything we believed in, neighbors, other people, other family members, government, everything that we're exposed to that helps us figure out what's real and what's not. They've had such influence on it that we don't even believe the truth as we see it. We'll argue ourselves down. Oh, that can't be true. You know, we'll get an epiphany or an insight. Oh, that can't be real. That, you know, and it keeps us where they want us to be. You know, it keeps us asleep. You know, that's where that whole woke thing, you know, when we start being woke as a people, you know, and when I first heard of woke, it was a lot of black people talking about woke. Like, we see the truth of this system, and this system is damaged. And this system, we see with this system, even though everybody's talking about, oh, there's no racism, there's no need for DEI, there's no, because it's just whatever they can say, it's a handout, whatever. We saw the truth. We always saw the truth. And especially the young people were like, this is ridiculous. This, it's what is it? The emperor, that story, the emperor has no clothes. You saying you got clothes on, and the young people's like, even though like the older people maybe would be like, well, you know what, I'm just resigned to how things are, blah, 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 whatever, or I'm just not going to stir up anything. The young people are like, no, this is false. This is false. This whole thing is false. And when it starts pushing against the status quo, the status quo, which is made up of falsehood, then the people who are in power of this false status quo, who have the most to gain from it, are like, oh no, you're woke. Oh no, woke. Oh no, that's wrong. That's. Oh wait. What was it? It's based on creating dissension and trying to give people a hand, free stuff for nothing, or whatever the arguments against it. Now, the arguments against woke are the same arguments that the Ku Klux Klan and white supremacists and white Christian nationalists, all that ilk have been saying ever since, I don't know, the antebellum South. I don't know, just for hundreds of years. And so they call that out, but they're like, oh, and then, if you're woke, then white people are going to suffer, and white people won't get to have civil rights or equal rights. And it's like, but wait a minute. The whole reason that DEI and everything was created was because the people of color weren't getting the equal rights. Women were not, getting equal rights, and poor people and LGBTQ and, old people were not getting the equal rights. But oh no. If these categories of people get equal rights, then that means that we, who are not them, don't get it. Which, total lie. But enough people believed in the lie, in the desperate attempt to keep things as they are, which is impossible, because the whole vibration of the world is rising, and based upon the raising frequency of the world's vibration, that which doesn't meet that frequency is going to fall apart, as it's doing now. But the first part that we're seeing of this is everything that's hidden is being revealed. And the fact that the hidden thing, people who want to keep things the status quo, they're not going to be able to, because everything hidden is going to be revealed. It is being revealed, because this is what this vibration does. So good luck with trying to keep all the Epstein files and everything else that's evil that you can't even imagine. You can't even imagine it. But you will see it, because it can't be hidden. The thing is that when it comes out, what are you going to do? Are you going to be like, oh my God, because you're so attached to this, the way things are in the world, and this system and this way of living, that, oh, if this falls apart, then my whole life falls apart and everything's shattered, and I might as well go jump off a bridge or something like that. You see what I'm saying? That's how people want you to think. It goes so deep. It's even how people want you to think of death. Like, oh, it's the end and it's horrible. And no, death is transition. But the world, the nation, America, we're going through an ego death. That's what we're going through. And the people who don't want to, ride with the wave, they're going to be left behind in one way or another. but they're not going to be able to keep things status quo, because and I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't care if you did nothing. Honestly, if you did nothing, this revolution, this evolution of humanity is going to happen anyway, because it's divine timing. It's the time. It's time. It's time. It's just time. What can I say? It's time. I mean, what, you know, so there's no arguing. There's no argument, but this transition can be made in the most correct, most perfect way. It can be made in a way that is so beneficial for you. Not only beneficial for you, but that which is outside of you is within you. That which is above is below. So the transition that's happening in the world is happening inside of you too. And you know, either you're going to open yourself to the transition that is for your highest good, or you're not ready yet, because you're not going to be able to let go of certain things, or you're not going to be able to see things in a certain perception. And then, you know, you'll be where you are until you could be somewhere else. So anyway, that is what I'm here to talk about. That's what's going to be on this channel. Now, this is my first time posting a video, so, you know, the like and subscribe and all that, I haven't even looked up how to do it. So I'm praying that when I push whatever button, this uploads to YouTube, and we'll see what happens. All right, so we'll see you later.